Money in the Bank is an upcoming professional wrestling pay-per-view, PPV, and WWE Network event, produced by WWE for their Raw and SmackDown brand divisions. It is scheduled to take place on May 10, 2020. It will be the 11th event under the Money in the Bank chronology. The event was originally scheduled to take place at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, but the venue canceled all shows that were to be held in May due to the 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic. WWE announced that the show's eponymous ladder matches would take place at its Titan Towers global headquarters building in Stamford, Connecticut, with a new corporate ladder gimmick culminating on the facility's roof. WWE has not yet announced where the card's remaining matches will originate. Money in the Bank, MITB, is an annual gimmick pay-per-view produced by WWE since 2010 and generally held between May and July. The concept of the show comes from WWE's established Money in the Bank ladder match, in which multiple wrestlers use ladders to retrieve a briefcase hanging above the ring. The briefcase contains a contract that guarantees the winner a match for a world championship of their choosing at any time within the next year. Since the 2018 event, both the men's and women's matches featured 8 wrestlers, evenly divided between the Raw and SmackDown brands. For 2020, it was reduced to 6 wrestlers divided between the brands. Male wrestlers compete for a contract to grant them a match for either Raw's WWE Championship or SmackDown's Universal Championship, while female wrestlers compete for a Raw Women's Championship or SmackDown Women's Championship match contract. 2020 will be the 11th event in the Money in the Bank chronology. 2. As with WWE's other programming since mid-March, the 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic necessitated changes to the PPV. Money in the Bank was originally announced with Baltimore's Royal Farms Arena as host. 3-2, on March 30, however, Maryland issued a stay-at-home order. 4. An advertisement promoting Money in the Bank aired during WrestleMania 36 Part 2 on April 5, but with no reference to a venue. 5. Subsequently, Royal Farms Arena canceled all events due to the pandemic and began issuing refunds. WWE initially did not announce whether the event would still go on from a different location, such as the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, where most WWE shows have been held since mid-March, 6/7, but on the April 17 episode of SmackDown, it was announced that the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches would take place at WWE's global headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. A new corporate ladder gimmick was also added to the matches, in which the participants must travel from the ground floor of the building to the roof in order to locate the briefcase, which itself will be suspended above a ring on the roof. 1-8. The show will include matches that result from scripted storylines, where wrestlers portray heroes, villains, or less distinguishable characters in scripted events that build tension and culminate in a wrestling match or series of matches. Results are predetermined by WWE's writers on the Raw and SmackDown brands, 9-10. While storylines are produced on WWE's weekly television shows, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. 11. At Super Showdown, The Fiend Bray Wyatt lost the Universal Championship to Goldberg, 12, who in turn lost the title to Braun Strowman during WrestleMania 36 Part 1. 13. On the following episode of SmackDown, Wyatt interrupted Strowman after his match and reminded Strowman that it was he who brought him to the WWE with his old Wyatt family stable. Wyatt then stated he wanted his title back and Strowman accepted the challenge, which was scheduled for Money in the Bank, though against Wyatt's normal self instead of The Fiend. 14. Qualifying matches for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match began on the April 13 episode of Raw. Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and the returning Nia Jax qualified for the match by defeating Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Kairi Sane, respectively. 15. On the April 17 episode of SmackDown, Dana Brooke defeated Naomi to qualify for the match. 16. Qualifying matches for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match began on the April 17 episode of SmackDown. Daniel Bryan defeated Cesaro to qualify for the match. 16. On the April 20 episode of Raw, Aleister Black, Apollo Crews, and Rey Mysterio qualified for the match by defeating Austin Theory, Montel Vontavious Porter, and Murphy, respectively. 17. During WrestleMania 36 Part 2, Tamina was eliminated first in the Fatal 5-Way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Championship due to all of the other competitors piling on top of her for the pin. Bayley subsequently retained the title. 5. On the following SmackDown, Tamina pointed out the fact that Bayley nor any other competitor in that match actually beat her and challenged Bayley to a singles match for the championship. Bayley agreed if Tamina could defeat her friend Sasha Banks, 14, which she did the following week to earn the title match at Money in the Bank. 16. During WrestleMania 36 Part 1, Seth Rollins lost to Kevin Owens, 13, while in the main event of Part 2, Drew McIntyre defeated Brock Lesnar to win the WWE Championship. 5. On the April 13 episode of Raw, Rollins stated that by losing to Owens, he had been crucified and now had truly risen, buying into his Monday Night Messiah gimmick. He later attacked McIntyre following the latter's match by performing the stomp on him. 15. The following week, McIntyre challenged Rollins to a match at Money in the Bank with his title on the line, stating that as champion, he needed to face the best. Rollins responded, noting their similarities, such as both being former NXT champions, as well as both defeating Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania to win the WWE Championship, which Rollins did at WrestleMania 31. Rollins then accepted McIntyre's challenge.